Good evening everyone, and welcome to the next tutorial here on the Ducttapestuff channel. In this tutorial I'm going to be showing you how to make a wallet that's been floating around YouTube for a long time now. Everyone makes it a little bit differently. This is called a Tri-Bifold wallet, and basically what it is just how it sounds. It's actually a mixture between a bifold and a trifold wallet in one. So a lot of people do this differently. They do make them in different ways, shape, and form. So I'm going to be showing you basically the way that I do it and the way that that I'm going to show you in this tutorial. So basically we have our trifold here, which is at the top, and we have a bifold which is stuck here in the middle. So that's what I'm going to be showing you how to make in this tutorial, and I'm going to be showing it to you in this way. There are some people who do prefer to do it instead of actually making it an actual trifold wallet in the back here, instead they just make one sheet here and there's a bifold on the inside. I will show you how to do that. Basically you're just going to leave out a bunch of steps if you just want to make this one sheet in the back here rather than it actually being a pouch for your trifold. So let's get started here on the Tri-Bifold wallet. Alright, so the first step what we're going to do is we're going to work on the trifold part of the wallet. So to do that we're going to cut out 4 strips of tape that are 9 inches long each. And these measurements are going to be very close to my trifold wallet tutorial, as well as the measurements eventually when we work on my bifold part of the wallet. So there's going to be a lot of similarities between those two tutorials here. And I am using the burgundy colored duct tape for this tutorial, just in case you were wondering what it is. It kind of does look brown on the camera, so I'll just point that out for you there. So you're going to take your first strip here, which is 9 inches long, and obviously your second one. You're going to take your 2 strips, stick them right on top of each other, just like this. You want to make sure that they are almost perfectly exact, because I'll show you why in a second, because we're going to try to use as less duct tape as possible. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to overlap now by just a tiny little bit. It's really only, I'd say maybe like a 1/6 of an inch. Just a little bit. You can kind of see it's just a tiny little bit there. And then you're going to peel this up. You take your 4th strip here, and obviously you're going to cover up the rest of the sticky side right here. Just like that. Now, if you're making your trifold and tri-bifold wallet and you really don't want to make the giant trifold in the back, you just want one sheet, this is where you're going to stop with the trifold part of the wallet. If you are making a trifold in the actual tri-bifold wallet, then you're going to make an exact duplicate of this sheet right here. So if you're looking for just that sheet here on the back rather than it being actually a trifold wallet, you can stop here. If you want it to be a trifold in the back here, you're going to make an exact duplicate of this here. So decide what you want to do, and then either skip that step or work on another one of these right now. Alright, so like I said before, I'm showing you how the way that I would make a tri-bifold wallet. So the way I would do it, I would make an actual trifold wallet here to start off with. So basically, I just made another sheet here, cut out a strip of tape that was 9 inches long, sealed it up on the bottom, and then 2 strips of tape on the sides, obviously, to seal it off. If you want to know the exact measurements for the sides, I believe it's a little over 3 inches here. We're going at 1, 2, 3, and it's about 3 3/4 inches, so that's the height of it, if you were curious about that. And then obviously, it's 9 inches long on the bottom here, just like we measured for our original sheet. So there we have our trifold wallet. Now basically what you want to do is obviously you want to fold it, and you want to get an idea of how well it's going to fold, if there are any little problems in there that you need to fix out or work the kinks out of. And once you get those creases are well defined, you're actually going to measure that area there, because that's exactly where your bifold is eventually going to flip out of. It doesn't have to be the middle one, bear in mind. It can be either the left side or the right side, but you definitely want to pick a side and stick with it, just because if you fold it just a little bit off and not completely even, each side is going to be just a little bit different. Like I don't know if you can see, but the middle one here looks just a little bit smaller than the sides. So you definitely want to make sure you pick one of those sides and then stick with it when you start making your bifold. So that's what we're going to work on next, working on the bifold part of the Tri-Bifold wallet. So now the time comes to measure it. So we're going to take the ruler here, and we know that the height of the trifold wallet here is about 3 3/4 inches, and that's about what it is on here. And the width of the middle piece here, which is where I'm going to stick the bifold, is roughly 3 inches in in length. So there's about 3 inches in there before the 2 creases that I can work with. Now bear in mind, since the bifold is going in this way and flipping out this way like on here, you want to keep that in mind when you're actually applying the measurements over and making your bifold. So for example, if it's 3 3/4 inches long this way, you want to actually double that to make it for the length of the bifold over here, because that's the same direction. And the height, that's 3 inches, so we want to make sure that the height of this bifold when we make it is 3 inches. So using those measurements, I'm now going to make this bifold right here based on the measurements I used over here. So by copying those measurements over, I was able to make my bifold wallet, which you can see here. Now basically, remember what the measurements were 3 3/4 inches long this way, so I doubled that to 7.5 inches for the wallet here, and then that's how long the bifold is, and obviously it was 3 inches high, so that's the height of the bifold going this way on this bifold here. So basically now the easy way to make sure to see if it fits is to line up the billfold here, the bifold on with how about it was this way with the billfold there. Line it up right over here. If you're using the middle piece, obviously the middle part of the trifold, fold it together, and basically what you want is that it lines up perfectly with the top of the trifold wallet here, if you're actually using a trifold rather than just a sheet, and you want it to line up on the bottom here so that when you do fold it, it'll look like one neat and compact square rather than having the sides stick out. So once you have that, it all fits and it all works right here in the center here, or whatever spot you're using, we're ready to start attaching this to the actual trifold here. So that's going to be our next step. Alright, so when I tend to see a lot of people make this wallet, they actually attach the part of the bifold here onto the trifold through the top of the billfold here, so they stick like a giant strip in here, and that pretty much holds that entire piece down. But you'll notice that if you just attach it here, this part can still lift off. So I've come up with a really simple way to deal with that. You take your X-Acto knife, or you can take your scissors. I mark right here where the top of the trifold ends, and then I have that little mark in there, and then basically I just take my X-Acto knife here and I just cut the very bottom of the wallet where that crease is all the way down to the end here, just like this, kind of just like you're making an incision, just like that. It doesn't matter if it's just a little bit rough, but basically, you're just cutting open just the bottom half of the billfold here. You're leaving this part open, just closed off here. And basically what we're going to do now is we're going to stick that there. And I have 2 pieces of tape here. It doesn't really take much. What we're going to do is stick that down, put half of this in here. The top of it is going to end up where the cut first begins. And it might take a little bit of maneuvering, but just stick it down. So half of it is stuck down inside the billfold there, and you're going to take this part, make sure it's all lined up so that it folds well, and then just stick that part down on there. Then you just take another piece here, and then it's already going to be stuck down, so it's probably going to be a little bit easier for you. Let's turn it this way so we get a little more coverage. And stick that part down inside the billfold, and then that part down on the wallet there. So now you'll notice when you actually try to take your bifold wallet off here, it's not going to peel off on this side simply because it's got that part stuck down. Next thing we're going to do is start attaching the other side here, as well as seal it off, so obviously if you have money in there it doesn't fall out. So now we're going to effectively seal this part off as well as this part over here so that's not open. Basically I just cut out one strip of tape that's 3 3/4 inches long. That happens to be what the length for this part is. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut that in half just so that I have 2 pieces to work with. And basically all I'm going to do is just attach half of this piece inside, half of it on the outside here, stick that down. That'll seal this part of the bifold onto the trifold part. Then you're going to take your other piece, and obviously we have this part that's still sticking up, and you can stick this right on top here, and that'll seal this part of the bifold wallet down. And as well as seal it up so that, because you did cut a giant piece of it out. So now we pretty much have our trifold bifold wallet. It's actually starting to really take shape. Now we can probably start throwing pockets in, and I'll give you some brief explanation on how to do that. Now, pretty much needless to say, Tri-Bifold wallets have tons and tons of room for credit card holders and ID holders and pretty much anything that you want to throw into them. And that's simply because they have so much room and so much area that you can throw stuff into. So say you wanted to put like credit card holders on the bifold here. We pretty much just apply those pretty much the exact same way that you would just apply credit card holders to a regular bifold. You know, just stick them in here, and then obviously instead of them wrapping around the back here like they would normally would on a normal bifold, you would just stick them to the bottom here of this part here. And now obviously if you were putting them on this part, you could flip them around and wrap them on the back here. But for the middle part, they would just be stuck down here. You can also work with these two side parts here, assuming you stuck the the bifold part in the middle of this trifold piece here. So you can put credit card holders or ID slots on this piece, you can put them on the middle piece here. You can also put stuff inside the billfold of the bifold wallet if you want to do that as well. And you can have flip down and flip up credit card holders as well, and pretty much anything that you want to do. This does bear a striking resemblance to the Rubik's Cube wallet that I made. It kind of does remind me of that, just because when you kind of do fold it all like this, it kind of does look just like the Rubik's Cube wallet, except obviously it's missing this one part over here, and it's not cut to look exactly like one because this part sticks out a little bit longer. But it does bear a resemblance to the Rubik's Cube wallet that I showed you how to make a while back. So that's pretty much how to make a Tri-Bifold wallet. It's been a design that's been floating around YouTube for a long time, and a lot of people have made them a variety of different ways. I pretty much just showed you the way that I would make them and the way that I do. Have made a few of them. So you've got your trifold here, your bifold here, and of course you can add all kinds of cool stuff to it if you want to do that. Like I said before, if you don't have to make an actual trifold here, you can just put just giant one sheet here in the back. Obviously you won't have the trifold part of the wallet, but you will have just that one sheet where you can still put credit card and ID slots and all kinds of cool stuff on the inside. So that's how to make a trifold bifold wallet. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this tutorial. There will be more tutorials coming in the future, so take care, subscribe if you want to, and have fun making this cool wallet. Catch you next time.